Okay. What's going on, everybody? Welcome into Big Matt and Diamond Dean here, Locker Room Sports Talk Show number 241. Dean, what about it?
241. Getting on up there.
We hang it in there like a hair and a biscuit.
I don't know if any shows that's had more than us except for what, Gunsmoke and the Simpsons. No, Andy Griffith. We're there in Andy Griffith territory. I think I read somewhere that it was 250. Not to get off the subject, but do you know the ratio of black and white to color on that? I heard it the other day. 160 to 90. 160
yeah, black and white,
90, which it wasn't as good no, I think everybody will agree on that.
Yeah,
wasn't as good on the
but it's good in
color. Well, after Barney left, basically.
Right. Peanut Gallery kicking around in here like high karate. Jeff Anderson, what's going on up here? What's up, guys? What is going on? Mr. JB from Real Talk from Real Town.
JB, Real Town, state runner-up.
Jeff Anderson, glad he's back in the house. Kicking, he had a hospital visit or something, so we're glad he's got everything going good, working in positive direction for him. So for today, we're going to talk about I'm going to break into Oklahoma, and Dean's going to talk about Ole Miss.
Get ready for that.
And I got a dark horse for Heisman. I
won't hear that.
Nobody.
You guarantee nobody will have him?
No. I do this every once in a while. Sometimes I get lucky and break stuff, like with Coach Saban, why he left.
Mm-hmm.
I did it a month before it broke on the news because I had the inside track with somebody that personally knows the coaches, and so
yeah, we know
this guy here. I promise you, he's going to be on a. He's going to be on. He'll be on a Heisman watch list for sure. Other news: Caitlin Clark, they're on a little bit of a roll right now.
Yeah, her numbers have improved. Turnovers gone down. Points going up.
She's already figuring it out.
Assists, percentages are coming up.
Yeah.
And Angel Reese is dominating too now.
Yes, she had, I think it was 7 consecutive games with a triple-double maybe. 10 points, 2 rebounds, 10 assists. A rookie record.
Yeah. Well, now, so they're both. I told Matt earlier that I think they're going to be the Larry Bird, Magic Johnson rivalry of the WNBA, and I think it's going to be great for them, the WNBA.
Yeah, if they'll handle it right. But, with this.
Well, they need to quit vilifying them and making them big arch enemies because I don't think they are.
You got to remember, though, and people watching around the world, if you're you better be 45 plus to remember this because I do somewhat. They did that with Larry and Magic.
They tried to make it like they were enemies.
Well, it's a racist thing. You don't remember that?
No. I'd heard that, but I don't actually. By the time I got to watching it, he kind of just made it a rivalry.
I remember them talking about it, and I remember people in the restaurant, grandmothers in the restaurant business. I remember people being in there. I remember them talking about it, and most all them people were like, no, it's not a racist thing.
I never thought it was.
And then you find out later, like, he actually eats dinner at my house, and his mom loves me, and my mom loves him. And
oh, yeah.
But the media, it's always been this way, and I'm trying not to be this is not a political channel, but it's always been this way.
Mm-hmm.
It goes from era to era. The things we're hearing and stuff we're putting up with now.
Yeah.
There's just more because there's more of these because you're really close to it now. And you can't be lied to quite as much because there's more voices. There's more stuff poured out on the table to discern through. So, yeah, we hope that Caitlin and Angela have great careers and,
looks like they're going to
make good money. She got a big shoe deal. One of the other girls on the WNBA also had a shoe deal. So they're going to figure it out. And it's kind of new to them getting exposure like this.
Yeah.
Now, what about J.J. Redick?
Wow. You think that's a good hire? I mean, I do. But he's never coached before.
My knee jerk reaction is no.
That's who LeBron wants, you think?
Yes, for
Definitely,
sure. He runs the team. He
yeah.
has a big hand. Jeannie Buss don't. I don't think the Buss family has much to do. My knee jerk reaction is no. It's not a good hire. I mean, he's not having experience.
Yeah, he seems very intelligent.
He is very intelligent.
Yeah,
and I think Jason Kidd's what he's done at Dallas has opened the door for. Not that other players haven't coached.
Yeah, Jason Kidd's done a good job.
But he has done a really good job.
Yeah.
And they were overwhelmed in the Celtics game. Celtics just better.
Yeah, what about their coach? I mean,
know.
I'm not getting on him, but he wasn't even that just kind of fell in his lap.
Yeah, just come from be like coaching.
I don't even know if he was coaching major college ball.
No, it was not. I mean, it'd be like coaching it. Coach Dixon, Marty Dixon. Shout out Coach Dixon, Gadsden State basketball coach.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Coach, we need you up here at I don't know Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna come up here and start. What? You mean from small college to? I mean, it's nearly because where he come from. The coach at the Celtics.
Yeah.
He kind of come from I want to say kind of like a Firtham or Dominion or
yeah. I don't know his background, but it just kind of.
I've seen some of the schools. It's like a Farmington kind of something or Dartmouth nearly.
And he was almost like pretty thrilled with just being. He just wanted to be an assistant and learn the game, didn't he?
Well, obviously, it's about relationships.
Yeah,
is.
They seem like they like him a lot.
But overall, as an answer, I think it'll work out fine because he's smart. I seen him. He has a podcast, and I told you earlier, LeBron was on his show. So I knew right then when he was on the show, I said, they're grooming this boy to take the team.
Mm-hmm.
And it is about relationships. And next topic, I'll say this, that moves into that.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama football recruiting is on fire. So DeBose, a kid that played down here at Viger, and we know Viger.
Yeah, pretty good athletes.
What kind of dogs they got, Dean?
No, they're good. Now they beat that center team was pretty. They beat everybody 30-40 to nothing in that playoff run. No,
was they the team that had the band that come around behind us down there at UAB that year? Was it their band? It was. Wasn't
it? Yes, we got there. What was it? They beat Aniana 53-19.
Yeah.
They beat Center pretty good in the second round, and they had a bevy of running backs, and nobody come close to beating them that year.
So I mean, anybody lost them that year. We seen them play. That we seen from like halftime on because we got there about the middle of the Aniana Viger game.
Yeah, we actually went down there where we watched Cleveland and that was a good game. Cleveland and Clark County.
Man, that was a good one.
That was what was it like 48, 49, 42? It was great.
Yeah. So the whole idea here, Viger has players.
Mm-hmm.
This young man, DuBose, kid, has offensive lineman, big kids. He's come in. He's going to play with Alabama. Decommitted from. He was kind of locked in for USC or Georgia, and so he's going to be at Alabama now. Dijon Lee is a big time cornerback. From I think he's from Mississippi.
Dijon Lee, yeah.
A 5-star guy. They're trying to lock him in. Then the Cunningham guy, he's a 5-star receiver that Keelan Russell. I did a special take on.
Yeah, Auburn. I saw that third in the camp, right?
Who?
Russell.
No, he won the MVP.
Well, no, he started. He was the third. Supposed to have been third.
Yeah,
and he won it.
Yeah, he won that winning it. So he calls out these other 5-star receivers to come to play with him in Alabama. So from DuBose, Dijon Lee maybe be coming. They have a Simmons kid, a 5-star, another 5-star receiver. There's a 5-star linebacker that could be coming from Georgia.
Mm-hmm. Is that? Oh, I know. It's probably the one we talked about. Supposed to be going to Georgia. Yeah, Lee was projected third.
Russell.
Yeah. Projected to be third.
He was ranked behind Travis St. Clair. He's number one from he's going to Ohio State. And then the other kid that's going to Notre Dame. He placed high in some of there, and then Keeline was third on the rankings. From what the director said, he just said the third day he just come out and brought a lot of energy, and he has a lot of levels to his game, and he is Lamar Jackson like.
Wow, that's not a bad thing.
But a lot of people on the other side of media sources that engulf their life with a football team that I don't do, but they do this, and they're just like, well, I mean, you got you a quarterback. He was going to SMU. Woo!
Mm-hmm. So well, I mean, you can be great, and Eric Dickerson went to SMU.
I mean, but he didn't play at SMU. The kid's in high school. He plays at Duncanville.
Yeah,
he's fixing to play his senior year in high school this year. So why is another college mad because he got recruited by SMU? He's a 4-star, and he'll be a 5-star by this time season starts. It
sounds like he's the future.
Yeah.
Definitely.
The last Alabama MVP Elite 11 guy was Tua.
Yeah, he's done all right.
Yeah. And the other schools, like people have other podcasts, I'm not even going to say his name because I don't want to give him any attention because he don't need any, because he makes he's an LSU guy, played at LSU.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, it's like it's laughable because this young man was the MVP at the camp, and they think because their quarterback is ranked higher, he's a 5-star, Underwood, which is from up Michigan.
Right.
And he is good. I've covered him.
Yeah,
I've been over him.
He's great. Yeah. Bryce Underwood.
Yeah, he is good. But he didn't even show up to the camp.
Right. How come?
He just guess he thinks he's too good.
Now he's supposed to be
he's good
next hero, right?
I always have a favorite pick out of this list, and we'll move on. I like the Travis St. Clair that's going to Ohio State, personally.
Yeah.
6'6", 225. He can throw it through a barn at 50 yards.
That's
he makes all the good touch passes. He's smart. He's played the game. His dad is taught him well.
That's great size too, 6'6".
Yeah, I mean, throw for thousands of yards. He just and Keelan's going to Alabama.
Right.
I'm just saying who I like personally. I've liked Travis St. Clair for a while on this league. Like I liked Nico the year before. When Nico come out, I put him out and I said, guys, this guy is good.
Well, so what you're saying is some people's made some comments that, boy, y'all got a good one. He was going to whoopity-doo, SMU.
Yeah, like that's bad.
Well, SMU has came a long way.
And they're going to have a good recruiting class.
I mean.
But it's just them being haters because they hate Alabama.
Kansas City, I mean, I'm not getting into SMU dynamics, but Kansas City's wide receiver, they won the Super Bowl. Of course, he throws to Kelsey more than anybody, but their second leading receiver of Kansas City played at SMU. So they have great players at SMU.
Well, but I mean, LSU is like
Ole Miss's running back played at SMU. One of their running backs.
What is Ole Miss again? I mean, the last 20 years they're like 4-16 against Alabama. So you don't really have a lot of room to talk. I mean, what have you really done besides Daniels and Burrow were good?
Very.
But other than that, I mean,
and that's who beat them.
Other than that,
They beat them 9-6 one time. They upset them another time.
How many first-round quarterbacks has LSU just pumping? Are they just a quarterback camp? They're just pumping out first round?
No, on Burrow and Daniels.
Yeah.
So far, I would think.
Russell,
but he flopped.
There's not going to be. I mean,
yeah.
Now wide receivers, now they got those guys.
They're wide receiver, aren't they?
Yeah, you can go to any of those apartments down one of those back roads and pick up. Runs a 4'4", 6'2".
Fantastic wide receivers.
So Auburn's doing well too. It's cooled down right now, and we'll know more probably from Auburn tomorrow. But through this week, guys, if it's your first day coming by the page, thank you for stopping by and watching us. Follow us over on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Subscribe to the channel, man. Help us get to 500. We're like 470 something now.
Yeah, I knew we was getting on up there.
But on the page, I'll share more this week as it comes out because Auburn's going to get some of these other guys they're digging for. Freeze trying to build some offensive line. Alabama, they got another 5-star offensive lineman that may sign. He's supposed to sign like Thursday somewhere.
Yeah.
If they get this other 5-star and Dejon Lee, and the Cunningham fight, they'll be number one class. And what's pokily fun for Cody, he pulls this out, which I mean, the comments are what they are. There's no way DeBoer he can't come to, he'll never recruit here.
Yeah, he's already proved that wrong.
Well, yeah.
Well, it's still Alabama at the end of the day.
And I don't want to get on a kick about, I thought about this.
DeBoer's definitely not running anybody off.
Well, I said this on the Bama Auburn recruit show I did the other day. He wasn't left a bad hand like Freeze was.
No.
They are not even close.
No, I mean, you got two of the better linebackers in the country, great D-line, good backs, a good quarterback.
Heisman finalist quarterback.
Yeah, good line.
Let's get why does Milroe not get any returning quarterbacks with SEC? Milroe's like 6th on the list. Why?
Well, I hear some people that are fans saying they don't even think he'll be their quarterback. Yes, he's going to be their quarterback.
Who's going to be the quarterback in that group?
If he's not the quarterback, it'll be because he blew his knee out. I don't want to jinx him like that, but that's the only way.
There's nobody else on the list. I watch practices through the week through Bama Standard stuff, and they're there at practice, and through Stephen M. Smith, and those guys do their show. He's first team reps. He has been since DeBoer's been.
He's got a good attitude too.
Yeah, I don't
think Ty Simpson's going to beat him out, which apparently Ty Simpson's came a long way.
Sure, and it looks like he's going to have some rivalry. There'll be some. Who's the other kid there?
It might be one of them deals where if Milroe is having a bad day, they may throw Simpson in.
Mac, kid that come from Washington, and there's another one there.
You talking about Austin? Is it Austin Mack?
Yeah. Who's the?
I'm thinking about King Mack.
Who's the? Milroe will be New York City. I don't think so. Who's the other quarterback? Ravioli went to Nebraska. Sayan left, went to Ohio State.
Yeah,
There's
Buckner's gone. You said he's getting into coaching.
Longstreet.
Right? Gosh, I don't remember. Is it Longshore? It might be Longstreet.
There's so many guys.
Lonergan.
Dylan Lonergan.
Yeah. That's it. Is he still there?
I think so.
I thought he might have gone on somewhere else and tried to be their quarterback.
But now
he's not bad.
Well, now you're going to add Keelan Russell.
Yeah.
He'll be a 5-star before he graduates next year.
Lonergan's not bad, but I'll take, he's not as good as Simpson.
It's just been very surprising. And as I said the other day, and I'll move on from that, I'm surprised DeBoer's recruited this well. But
he's done great.
It's a little different now. Kids recruit other kids.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get a kid, you get him to say, "Hey, man, your buddies that play with or one you rival against."
Well, even
because coaches are not supposed to contact them, but the kids can talk to each other. So legally,
but we need to get a narrative. I was telling Mom last night how great Ole Miss was going to be, and she goes, "I'm afraid Alabama's not going to be as good, and it's going to be all this coach's fault." So we need to step away from that.
No, absolutely not.
That's going to be said. Saban's gone.
Here's something I used the other day in a comment. For any of you Guns N' Roses fans, if you remember the song Patience.
Of course.
There's a line in the song that says, "The streets might change. The streets don't change, but maybe the names."
Mm-hmm.
I ain't got time for the beat because I need blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
The streets don't change, but maybe the names do, but the streets don't change.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama is Alabama. Coaches' names will change,
right?
But it's still a brand of football that's been relevant for 30 years.
It's like Kentucky basketball.
Pretty much 30 years.
Yeah.
Now in that late 90s part when Steve was smoking people.
Alabama still wasn't bad then.
In 99, they won the SEC, didn't they? Yeah.
Yeah. And they had one. I can only remember Alabama really having just 2 or 3 bad teams
in the past 30 years. And then before that, in the 80s, Nebraska and Miami, Florida State.
Florida State was very good.
You young guys, y'all don't know. But those teams were running things.
Mm-hmm.
Auburn had a
good team.
They had a run in there for about 2 years. 83 and 4.
Yeah, when Bo was there. Oh, well, after they were good.
Yes, but even then, that next year, because they opened the year and lost to, gosh darn it, I just read a story on that. I run across.
Was it Texas or somebody?
Yeah.
Nebraska,
and
Texas.
They wanted to be ranked 1, and they wouldn't rank them 1.
Well, I know one year there they opened the year with
83.
Nebraska, and Nebraska just
Smoked them.
Oh gosh, but Nebraska was a different animal back then.
So what I'm saying is, for DeBoer to come in, it can't be a big surprise. And I'm not trying to take away flowers from Saban, because obviously he knows how to put together a staff.
Yeah, definitely.
That's why,
which is probably where he was a great coach.
He's a winner. He knows how to put together staffs. Go back and find him as a head coach at LSU. Look at who he had. Dooley, Jimbo, and all them was there.
Jimbo, Stacey Searles, Muschamp.
Guys, these are all-star cast.
Then then in Alabama, Kirby Smart.
I can name 10 guys right now.
You got Mel Tucker. Unfortunately, he got fired from
Billy Napier. The names you know now: Napier, Dan Lanning, Kirby Smart,
Mike Loxley,
Lane Kiffin,
that Brian DeBall, which he's pro. He's pro head coach.
But the guys that are coaching, even in this league, they come through him, and he knew how to put together a staff. But obviously, what the last point is, it's always about what I said a while ago. It's about relationships. JJ Redick and LeBron, him coming to the Lakers, it's about making relationships. And if you can get along, it's the same thing.
Right.
So can DeBoer just come to the country and sit down and eat, apple pie with mama and get up and do a dance in the living room and make sure her
I don't know about all that.
Going to go to church on Sundays or mass or whatever they do, and make sure they're going to class, and promise this parent that I'm going to take care of your child. It's about relationships.
Right.
You're not selling the school. Alabama don't need to be sold.
No, they don't.
Why would they don't need to be sold? The university speaks for itself. You're trying to build a relationship with you and these parents.
And the Lakers don't need to be sold.
No, these are brands. That's the point I was making about USC and Auburn. And now Juju's went to Colorado, and their fans are out there chanting, we want Juju. They made a burger named after him. USC is a larger brand than Auburn.
Yeah.
They are a historic team that won old games way back in the day. Auburn is just they were men's Methodist college for a long time. Then they were Alabama Polytech. And then they didn't become Auburn until
50s.
Yes, 56 or 7.
Yeah.
They've only been the Auburn brand in your parents' lifetime. It's hard to sell a brand, and they got one. They claim 2, but they got one title. It's just not. You can't sell it that way. It's hard to sell. It's hard to sell Auburn. So why do they not get all these 5? They're having a great class right now.
Right.
Big Daddy Saban's gone from Tuscaloosa. They feel like the clouds have moved away, and they have a chance. And they've got some positive kids coming in. That Jack Lambert kid, Lambert Smith, Penn State receiver. They got some people coming in. So I'm trying to be excited. But what I'm saying is there's brands. There's names.
There's not too many brands.
Notre Dame's a brand.
Texas
is a brand. Alabama's a brand.
Oklahoma.
Yeah, Nebraska. And Nebraska ain't been a brand. Dude, they still have a
Nebraska's still a brand.
And they ain't even won in 25
Penn State,
years.
Ohio State, Michigan. They're 15, 16, and that's about it.
But, like Nebraska ain't even won in 25 years, and they're still known. So it's about building relationships. So the thing is, Alabama, Coach DeBoer obviously has built relationships. Obviously.
I think you got to win more than one before you're a brand.
Oh, God, I think you need 5.
Yeah, or at least 3.
5. Florida's
a brand. They've won 3. Florida State's won 3.
Yeah.
And yes, 3.
Yeah, 5. To me, 5 is you're special.
Yeah.
If you win 3 is great. There's a lot of schools that don't have any.
But see, I hope nobody shoots me over this, but Tennessee's not a brand. I don't think.
They're just not. Now,
they're close.
But you know why they are? Somewhat fake money.
Yeah.
And what most football fans, which know, but some don't, they won the first BCS.
They did.
If you know football, but most people probably don't even know that.
Yeah. Went 13-0 after Manning left.
Not with Peyton Manning, it was T. Martin.
Yeah. No, they did
Peyton
not
Manning.
win it. They couldn't get by Florida. Then they got by Florida.
That's another common misconception. Oh, I remember Peyton was better than won that beast. No, Peyton was
No,
gone. It was T. Martin.
Now he had a team. Manning quarterbacked a team that went 11-1 or 12-1.
Yeah.
But no title.
So the brand of Alabama is selling hot right now, and they're just on a tear right now.
Yeah.
And the kids are recruiting each other.
Mm-hmm.
Quarterback's going to get receivers. Other linemen are going to talk to each other.
All right.
And now these defensive backs are going to start talking to each other. Hey, man, come over and play with me.
Yeah.
Let's kill this. Let's get a ring.
Mm-hmm.
So, what other news kicking? Oh, the PGA. What happened? What?
Well, I had it flipped over there. I stopped by to see Mom, and there was nothing on. And I was writing down the notes. Some more notes for our show, and I said, this PGA was on the 18th hole, and it was a one-stroke lead. Scotty Scheffler, the one that got arrested, who's fantastic, by the way, and another guy. They're getting ready to putt, and 5 protesters come out, run out on the golf course, and throw smoke bombs. And, of course, they get tackled and taken away. And I do not know why they protested yet. Mom read somewhere that it was over this Saudi league having a golf league.
Well, so what? It's a free country.
And it's like, we don't want nothing to do with Saudi Arabia, but
yeah,
and I don't either. But
well, it's a free country, I guess you can.
And this was about 3:30, so there may be some breaking news on that now.
Yeah, we may find out what it was they were protesting about.
Yeah, I couldn't, but this was early. This was 30 minutes.
I seen in a synagogue or something that I was watching news, and the news was talking about a synagogue being a new synagogue being built up north that got hurt. Something happened there at a shooting, and they're reopening it. That's just some news that I run across before you come in. I don't know if it's. I didn't watch it about 2 minutes, and I seen the rainbow flag on the building in the back.
Yeah,
I turned it. No, I'm not doing that. It's not my thing. It's not my month. Oh, yes. Dark horse for the Heisman. I've got a name here for you that most people won't have. Breaking news right here.
All right. I'm ready to hear this.
Right here on Locker Room Sports.
Mm-hmm.
Heisman watch list. I can't say some of these things. It may give it away. He was a Heisman finalist. Let's see, a running back. Also, he's a running back.
Mm-hmm.
A running back has not won the Heisman since 2015 of Derrick Henry. Only 3 games less. He only had 3 games where he had less than 100 yards rushing. He's had 1,000 of his 1,700 last year was after contact.
Ooh, pretty good.
They do have, listen to this closely now, I went and looked up their line, and this was a beat writer for a sports page in the Midwest. Quote, unquote, most experienced line in the nation. 6 6-year starters back. 6 6-year starters. All the linemen and their backup all decided to come back because of him. 6.
You got to tell us now.
Linemen by the names of Birmingham, Brooks, Cooper, Dotson, and Adine. This man here will be on your watch list. 2023 Dwight Walker, Big 12 Player of the Year, Ollie Gordon II, Oklahoma State.
Ollie Gordon II.
Keep an eye on him. He's on the Locker Room Sports.
Most experienced line in the country. I knew they got a lot of starters back too, don't they? Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State win that Big 12, can't they?
Well, we did a big spot for Utah, and I told you.
Utah's going to be strong.
But I said during the show, because I run across this, I run through sports stuff a lot, and I told you then. I said, well, Oklahoma State, they'll probably play them for it.
Yeah.
That's why I couldn't pick Utah to win it.
I put out a top 10 the other day, just brainstorming it.
Yeah.
I should have. Oklahoma State's got to be that 11.
Well, people don't know because they just.
We don't know. Yeah.
Gundy's been out there a while, man.
Yeah, and he's had some good teams.
He has had some good.
The best team he ever had. Some people said they should have gone instead of Alabama.
Yep.
To play LSU that time because they said it wasn't. Alabama had already lost to LSU. They was like, you're giving them the title. Pretty much, you send them Saban back out there to play somebody that's beat him again.
That's a Sugar Bowl. And
it was very close, but they did the BCS model in Alabama. Alabama had a better. I think they had been beat by Iowa State.
Yes, that's what happened.
That's what killed them.
That's what hurt them.
Yeah.
Now the other fans, the haters of, I mean, there's no school hating.
And Alabama had lost to LSU, who was playing in it.
But there's no more school hated than Alabama, probably.
No, that didn't help.
Teams that win are going to be hated. That's just how it is.
But that Iowa State, but they were the third best team in the country that year.
Didn't Blackman play with them?
I don't know if he played on that team. Justin
not
Blackman.
That team, but he played.
Yes, he did.
20.
He was great, but he didn't do much in the pros.
8 or 9.
What happened to him?
11, is it like class?
That would have been 10 or 11. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I remember watching him there. I thought, wow, boy, he could.
No, he was good. Big.
Yep. Kind of like a Julio.
I don't know what kind of
like Megatron.
I want to see his pro career.
Yeah, see what happened to him. I don't.
Justin Blackman.
I heard him a little bit on ESPN after for a year or two, and I don't know if he got hurt or if something happened to him. So, Heisman watch list, locker room sports, 2024. Ollie Gordon II at Oklahoma State University.
Let's see what Justin.
It's going to be very, very big.
Pro stats. All right, here we go. I don't think they're very. I mean, he was fantastic in college.
And I got another kid here for you in just a minute.
He caught 93 passes in his pro career.
What happened?
In 2 years.
Didn't say.
I don't. He caught 64 one year and 29 the next. Let's see what happened. What happened? Just type that in. Justin Blackman. What happened?
He'll probably come up with something.
Oh, they will. 2 years.
Let's see, Visor. He must not have played real long. Visor's live on Twitter.
He was suspended for drug use, and he just never did come back.
Okay, so he had some personal problems. Okay. So I'll tell you what.
Never played again. But he is in the College Football Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he was good.
Well, he got suspended the first 4 games in 2013 and then came back and got suspended again and never played again, which I'm sure now that was by choice. I'm sure he could have played again.
Well, maybe God will bless him and put him.
Yeah, he never did. I mean, somewhere. And he won't now. I mean, he's 30.
Yeah, no.
6 years old. So that's sad.
Yeah, I hate those kind of stories.
Yeah.
What about? We got
Dang it! Come on, Ole Miss.
Ole Miss.
I got to hold on. What's the spread in that? 6.5.
It's probably was 6 then, because A&M was 5-3.
What we got? What we got on this?
Well, probably a can of Seafoam. So.
I was with Brian Knapp earlier today, and
he.
Knapp said he puts it on his cheese dip. It's good stuff, buddy.
You don't know about Seafoam, guys. You can sprinkle it in your shorts for jock itch.
Yeah, anything.
Brush your teeth with
it. It works for everything.
Comb your hair with it.
Yeah, tires. It work on your tires.
Yeah, pour it on the tire.
Nasal congestion.
You can smell the can.
All right, Matt and Todd indicted in 14 deaths.
Don't snort it. You just smell the can.
Don't do this, people.
Tell us about Ole Miss. I got to hear this. You got to go first.
All right, before I get started, and I'm going to say this, I've already told Matt this. Guys, what I'm fixing to tell you is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So, and this, all right.
We had a great idea that I've already looked through them just because it's just what we do.
Oh, my gosh.
But I don't know. I didn't go in depth. I just did a run across the top of it back last month,
This is silly.
When I was studying about Jackson Dart.
Right.
I had to know, because I want to know their line, who's coming back. I didn't go over their defense, really.
Okay. They got, before we get into the line, I'm not going to get into names, but they've got 4 starters back.
Ole Miss Rebels. Break it down, Dean.
All right. 4 starters back on the line. 16 starters back in all. And they also got their place kicker and punter. All right, main people coming back. Quarterback Dart, 8,700 career yards, 63 touchdowns. All right, let's go to the running back room first. We already talked about the lineman. For the 5-back, Ulysses Bentley. He was Judkins' backup last year. Matt, he's got 2,200 career yards and 23 touchdowns. All right, that's pretty good numbers, wouldn't you think?
Indeed.
All right, Logan Diggs comes over. He's already led LSU and Notre Dame in rushing. He's got 1,700 yards and 14 career touchdowns. Henry Parrish has came back to Ole Miss from Miami, where he led Miami in rushing. Matt, he's got 2,100 yards and 15 touchdowns. Dominic Thomas came over from Clemson. Now, we know him. If y'all don't know his story, he's from Ohatchee and had lost how many family members? Two or three in a tornado?
Yeah, that destroyed their house.
Destroyed their house. And he went to Clemson.
Terrible situation. But God's blessed him, and he's got his head up, and he's doing great. We're happy,
doing great.
Happy for him.
So he's there. So you got Diggs, Parrish, Bentley, all starters. And you also got Ja'Cory Merritt from New Mexico, 1,200 yards last year. I mean, 3 of these guys have played at Power 5 schools, Parrish, Diggs, and Bentley. So the running back, I mean, does that, okay, before we go any further, does that hurt losing Judkins when you got this?
No, obviously not.
So they got Diggs and Parrish to come in, Parrish to come back. He already left Ole Miss and went to Miami. So you got all 3 of these guys that's got around 2,000 yards rushing. Wide receiver Trey Harris, arguably the best wide receiver in the conference, 160 career catches, 2,500 yards.
Now, Burden is going to be the other top dog for
top
SEC.
dog, yeah.
But them two are
and the guys from Tennessee and LSU.
Squirrel White.
22 touchdowns for Harris. Jordan Watkins comes back, 136 catches. Antoine Wells transferred from South Carolina. He caught 68 passes as a freshman. Tight end, Caleb Priestcorn, 85 career catches, 11 touchdowns. Guys, it just goes on and on. That's just the offense now. So you got 3 backs with 2,000 career yards. You've got 2 receivers with over 125 catches. You've got a tight end with 85 catches. And you got another receiver with 70 career catches. All right, now let's just move to the defense.
Experience is what I hear.
Yeah. I'm going to get to that here in a minute. Walter Nolan comes in from A&M. He's got 11 career tackles behind the line.
He's a defensive end, right?
Yes.
Yes, I know you're talking about. Yep.
Okay, and I can't pronounce this. I finally got a name I can't pronounce. Defensive lineman from Florida comes in from Princely Humanlemian.
Sounds good. I love it.
All right, 100 tackles, 25 for loss in his career.
Well, you know that Scooby Wright left. He's playing at A&M. Remember?
Scooby Wright left Ole Miss. Yeah,
he left.
He left Florida to go to A&M. J.J. Pegues, that's a great name, by the way. Defensive lineman, 15 for loss in his career. Jared Ivey, 23 for loss in his career. He'll be starting on the defense.
He's Ivy. He played at Spring Garden. He was probably good.
All right, now let's move to linebackers. Suntarine Perkins, best name in college football. Suntarine started last year, made 38 tackles. He will be one of their inside linebackers. They have a transfer from Arkansas, Chris Paul. He's made 137 career tackles, 15 for loss. Now listen to this. This is the best one. He's the edge rusher, Kari Coleman. Played at Georgia Tech earlier in his career, 31 tackles for loss in his career.
That ain't got nothing on Tay Diamond.
Yeah, Tay Diamond has 81.
81?
I'm sure, at least.
I knew you had about 60 last year.
All right, now let's move to the secondary. Trey Amos coming in from Alabama.
Cody
Amos.
Is that his cousin?
I think that's Dean's other boy.
Dean's other boy.
Amos will start at corner. Expected to start at corner. Me and Matt liked this guy.
Yeah.
We did.
I was really on that 8-day game.
Yeah.
I was high at Bama's A Day. I watched him.
Oh, he's good.
I liked him. Him and Prentice, and we lost both of them.
Both of them. Defensive back, safeties. Trey Washington is back. 137 career tackles, 4 picks. John Saunders is back. 132 career tackles, 8 picks. I mean, guys, it's just ridiculous. And Matt said it sounds like there's a lot of experience. Now, this number I'm fixing to throw at y'all is absolutely insane. Between the guys that play regular, guess how many games of experience they have?
The whole team, or
the whole team combined? No, just the
starters,
just the regulars.
1,800.
750.
Oh God, I'm just throwing out some high numbers.
750. Now, hell, I'm not finished. This is with what they've got that's going to be in the rotation. 750 games, 130 touchdowns, 8,300 yards rushing, 7,500 receiving, 7,600 passing, over 1,000 tackles, 15 interceptions, and 125 tackles behind the line of scrimmage. God, I've never heard nothing like this in my life.
Ohio State, Ole Miss.
They've got 8,300 yards rushing. Their running backs have rushed for 8,300 yards.
It's like Ole Miss and Ohio State's going to play for it.
All right, so let's get into the schedule, man.
Well,
you got it pulled up.
Why?
I mean, this is just ridiculous.
Facebook, I don't have it pulled up there. So
I can go over it right here.
We're on YouTube. You can find the schedule there.
So what was you fixing? You were fixing to say something. Well, their D-line's great. Their linebackers are great. Their secondary's great.
Yeah.
And you got Pete Golden's their defensive coordinator. Not well liked by Alabama fans, but we can say this about Pete Golden. His team's improved over the course of the year. Did you not think so?
Yes, I guess.
And Saban had confidence in him.
I didn't. Obviously, Saban didn't. He run him off.
Well, yeah, he did. But the main thing, obviously, is Dart and Trey Harris, I think. And this O-line.
Backfield, Bentley's
good.
Yeah,
well,
I like him.
Well, Bentley Diggs has led 2 different Power 5 teams in rushing.
And supposedly, allegedly, by word of sports pages, that Dart told Kiffin in the bowl game that Junkins was just terrible.
And he was gone the next week.
Terrible. Because when he left, Lane put a picture on his Twitter of him fishing like, okay. He could care less if he left. So obviously there was some, I don't know what happened.
Okay.
And we watched Junkins play at state championship game, remember?
Yeah.
He's great.
He is. Yeah, it's just, I mean, let me just, I know I'm going, you're like, dude, you're too much on these numbers. Bentley's rushed for 600 in a season and 900 in a season. Diggs had 800 one year and 600 another. This Parrish kid from Miami's rushed for 600 3 times, Matt. They've got 5, and you count Dart, you've got 5 backs that have rushed for over 500 yards in a season.
And the key to all that is the guys up front, the Hogs.
Which is 4 of them's back.
That's a great recipe.
And Harris, I mean, 160. He's averaging 53 catches a year.
It sounds like they're going to be which Lane keeps it pretty balanced. A lot of people think he's more of a
he runs a lot.
If he's more of a passing team, but they're
guys, I'm telling you, I think they're going to be great. So let's get into this schedule.
Yeah, let's look at it.
All right. First 2 games, they start out at home against Furman and Middle Tennessee. So we're going to give them wins on that, aren't we?
Yeah.
Can Wake, where I went up to not long ago.
Oh, crap.
Can Wake upset them at Wake Forest?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, we got them 3-0. They played Georgia Southern. That'll make them 4-0. Kentucky comes to Ole Miss. Now, we've already talked about Kentucky, who has the most production back in the conference.
They don't even play a game on TV till the CW. So they're going to play CW Network at 5:30 at Wake Forest. Come on.
They are going to be on the CW?
They don't even have an ESPN ABC game till September 28th. They play Kentucky at home. Homecoming.
They got Kentucky with 20 starters back for their homecoming game.
Yeah, at 11 o'clock, guys. 11 o'clock, ABC or ESPN.
All right. Kentucky at home, but they're not going to be beat up.
Well, I'm gonna give them a win because I'm gonna usually pick the home team. But I just do. I picked Tennessee to beat Bama this year because it's at Tennessee. I'm just being honest.
Okay, then they go to South Carolina, LSU guys. I think they could lose one of those.
Oh, we'll just be mean and say they lose this one.
I think they could lose one of those.
So they lose at LSU because it says it's a flip game. Okay, now it's going to be night, Dean. The flex schedule right now is at 6 or 8. So they don't know right now what time, but it's going to be dark.
Right.
And a little lion tiger is going to be locked up in a little cage over there. And when you get off that bus and you come through that tunnel and that place goes to shaking and rocking. But with that experience back that you just mentioned, it's just going to be another game for them. So they could go in there and beat them because I am not sold on LSU's defense any. I do like Nussmeier. He's a good quarterback, and we're going to do them probably next week.
I think there's a great chance that they could be undefeated after this. All I'm saying is, well, I'll get to that. I've got them going 10-2 or 11-1. I got them at 10.5.
All right, Oklahoma,
I think they'll be fine.
October 26th
it's at home
at Oxford. Okay. All right, then next November, get in the month of November at Arkansas.
I think that's a W. Tell them about the next game, Matt, which is the big one.
November the 9th. Circle it on your calendars. 3:30 or an 8 o'clock Eastern time game. TV time production not known yet, so it could be an early or late game, but it's at Ole Miss.
Georgia Bulldogs, who both of them are going to be ranked in the top 5, I would think.
At this time, they will be.
Yeah.
No, in November, they're both going to be in top 5 because Georgia, the only game they're going to have before this will be Alabama. And if they have a loss then, they may not be top 5. They may be 6 or 7.
Where do they play Alabama at? That's in Tuscaloosa, right? It's a possible loss.
Possible.
This game's a toss-up to me. I mean, Georgia fans don't hate me, but I mean, I don't think y'all are this loaded. This is loaded.
I'm just not a bet guy. And Burge knows it. I hold quarterbacks in SEC to a high standard.
Now, I do think that even though we talked about all those defensive players, defense could be a weak point for Ole Miss. We don't know yet. Then they finish up. They travel to the Swamp. I think they'll be okay there. I think it'll be tough. And then they play in the Egg Bowl.
Mississippi State.
I think they'll be fine in the Egg Bowl.
I'll guarantee they beat Florida, Mississippi State.
Don't be shocked if the Ole Miss Rebels are in the SEC championship.
Arkansas, LSU, and of course these others here. These are some guaranteed lock it in. You can go ahead and just put Joey the Fish says it's okay. I got him at
10.5, man. Oh, okay, here, and I know you're like, well, you got them at 4 different things. I'm telling you, if things go right for this squad can go 12-0. I do think they will be in the playoff. I don't think they'll go 12-0. I think 11-1 at best, possibly 11-1, 10-2. That's why I said 10.5. I don't think they go win less than 9 no matter what, unless they have just a ton of injuries. 9-3, absolute worst case scenario. 9-3.
See that game right there highlighted. November the 9th. It's at Ole Miss.
That could easily be undefeated. And Georgia. Possibly. I don't think they will be, both of them, but it's possible.
So you're saying that could be the SEC championship game right there? Possibly.
Definitely.
Because I think we've been pretty solid on Bama being probably 8.5. So you got Ole Miss 9.5.
Yeah, well, I got them at 10.
10.5?
I got them at 10.5. With this experience, I don't think they lose 3, man, no matter what. I do think they could definitely lose 2.
All right, guys. We're calling it here first. Locker Room Sports, Ole Miss fans, book your tickets for December 7th.
Well, now, I don't know about that. We ain't done Texas and Alabama yet. I don't
Book your tickets. They're going to the SEC title game.
Man, I think this team can go to the Final Four. Okay, here's the next question. Is Kiffin good enough to take them there?
That's the one I bring up every week. He's like that pretty girl that you go to the dance with, and then you take her home, and you're like, man, I've been waiting to kiss her for like a week.
Is Kiffin and Pete Golding good enough to take them to the semifinals?
And then you kiss her, and you know what happens? You say goodnight, she goes in, and you turn around and you go, God, she's a terrible kisser. You ever had that happen?
Oh, yeah.
You kind of look forward to. You kind of look forward
and you're like,
to.
well, I got to teach her how to kiss.
Yeah, you kind of like. I kind of look forward to being around this young lady here, and she's terrible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, oh yeah, that's happened every.
That's Lane Kiffin.
Yeah.
To me, he's just never been able to prove as a head coach that he can win these games. I hadn't seen it.
Well, see, they had the best team they've ever had last year, but Dart goes down, and all this is they lose 3 at least.
2024 Ole Miss Rebels look like they're going to come in and smoke up about. They should be 6-0 pretty quick, and then heading into middle October the 12th, they'll go to LSU. We're calling that a L.
See, that South Carolina game's going to be tough too, but I think they'll be okay.
Well, being that it's at South Carolina too.
Mm-hmm.
And
South Carolina's got a good squad. South Carolina did real good in the transfer.
It's not going to be a late game.
Portal.
It's not going to be a real late game, okay?
Right.
So
we've talked about a lot of loaded teams, but guys, we have not talked about one this loaded.
That Kansas State team I did.
We have not talked about one.
They're loaded. Like huge amount of like a bunch of good linemen coming back. And I just told you Oklahoma State 6 years.
Oh gosh, and Utah, man, Utah. I got them ranked 8 or 9. I mean, everybody's back. And plus, Ole Miss they got 18 guys in the transfer portal, and about 6 or 7 of them are good now. I don't know. Now, somebody said, yeah, but they don't have the type of players Georgia and Alabama have.
No, well, they just don't.
But these guys are proven. Diggs, Parrish, Bentley, they're all proven. Dart's proven.
They are.
Harris, Watkins. Amos, they even got an Alabama player going to start for them. Amos is good.
He is good. I was bummed a little bit to see him go.
Well, let me tell you something. If you win because of experience, which we know that's not true, you still got to be a stud. Ole Miss is going to win it all. 750 games among their 30 players that play regular, or their 27 players that are in the rotation.
Yeah. Well, that
750
sounds like a good problem to have, don't it?
Yeah.
It's a lot of experience.
Oh gosh.
But it's the same thing that we've talked about. And I don't want to keep bringing it up because then it sounds like I'm beating a dead horse. Can Lane win those games?
That's the big if. Yes. I mean, you got, like you said, you got Georgia, you got at LSU. And Kentucky and South Carolina is not going to be pushovers. And Florida either. You better come to play. He can't drop one of those. He cannot drop one of those 3.
No,
those are all catch games.
Florida's going to be. I mean, they're picked to win like 6 or 7 games. You got to win that one.
Yeah, but you're going down to the swamp. You can't lose that or Kentucky or South Carolina. And you can lose to LSU and you can lose to Georgia.
I did South Carolina, and their quarterback, we talked about them.
Mm-hmm.
He's good. They're going to be pretty good. They're going to be okay, but not like this.
What do we have South Carolina with?
Probably 7.5.
Yeah, 6.5.
Yeah. 6. They're not going to be that good.
We had Kentucky at 8 so far, and we had Tennessee at 9.5.
Yeah.
Do you agree or disagree? Are you going 9.5? I'm going 10.5
for Ole Miss.
Ole Miss, which is the highest mark so far that we've studied. We've still got Alabama, Texas.
I'm gonna put them at 9.5. They'll win 9, maybe 10.
Okay, I got mad at 9.5. I may be highballing on this, but we'll see. That's what makes it interesting.
Yeah, these are just. And, just like everybody else, we just try to guess. It's a good guess at this by And we just share. Really, this is kind of stuff we would just kind of talk about back in the day. We just sit around and talk 20 minutes about.
Yeah.
Oh man, I like why you like Ole Miss? Well, man, they got a bunch of players back. They got a lot of their linebackers. They got some running backs coming in that's played other places. That's pretty much they're proving themselves. Wide receiver room's good. We know Jackson Dart's good. Their defense is not going to be terrible. They're going to be at least a B+ grade.
And their place kicker and punter are back.
And by looking at their schedule, the only bad spot it looks like is probably at LSU.
Yeah, I mean, Georgia's not. It's not fun to play Georgia, but you got it at home at least.
And they don't play Alabama.
No.
Or Tennessee.
Or Auburn. None of them. Texas. No Texas. Got Oklahoma, but they got them at home. And Matt's fixing to talk to us about Oklahoma. Who's going to be okay, but they're not the Oklahoma of Barry Switzer days.
I'm worried about that defense. I know they've got some guys in, and I'll go through a little bit of it.
So Matt went 9.5 on Ole Miss. I went 10.5. So that's basically we're saying 9 or 10, possibly 11. I don't think they go undefeated. I can't give them that.
If they do, hats off to them.
And I don't think they can win it, but I do think they may can go to the semis.
What comes? Let's do a devil advocate before we go on OU here. What if Bama and Ole Miss both undefeated come November?
Be good, but they don't play for the first time in forever.
But that would have to mean that Georgia lost to Ole Miss and Alabama, so they would be out.
Yeah. Well, out of that SEC championship,
I don't. And if we look at Georgia's schedule, I don't see them losing both of them games.
No. I haven't done Georgia yet. I know they're going to be good, but
I'm going to give Kirby more credit than that. And I'm going to say he can beat DeBoer or Lane.
Yes.
Definitely. And you would figure he'd beat DeBoer.
Yeah.
I mean, it's his first year in the SEC.
I would think.
You would kind of assume.
I think it'll be I know we go talk about spreads. And I would think
Georgia probably a 6.5, 10 point, 9.5 favorite.
And there'll be the Ole Miss may be low if they go to maybe 2.5, 3.5.
Because of the time of the year to be for betting odds. We're talking about November when Ole Miss playing Georgia late. If they're both undefeated coming in, Georgia's done beat Bama and Ole Miss done beat LSU.
I think Georgia's going to be.
They'll be favored 2.5 because it's at Georgia.
Yeah.
It's at Georgia, wasn't it?
No, it was at Ole Miss.
Oh, well, Ole Miss may be favored.
They could be favored.
I don't know why they couldn't be. If they're undefeated, Georgia's coming to town. Well, Georgia's undefeated too. Well, what did they do last year? We're going by last year. Georgia didn't even win the conference last year.
No.
Ole
Miss had the best season they'd ever had.
Why does that get missed? Have you noticed that this offseason, I think because of Saban retiring, it took a lot of the talk about that was the biggest topic.
Right.
Alabama win the SEC championship 2023 is just
kind of just fluffed to the side and got a lot of guys back off that. I think it's just because Saban's gone. I don't hear a lot about Alabama. I know they did lose some good players, but we think the running backs they've got are going to be better than the ones they had.
Henderson.
Haynes,
Miller. They're going to be fine.
Yeah.
They'll be fine. 2023 Oklahoma Sooners football. Guys, thank you for coming by and hanging out on the page with us here on Locker Room Sports Show number 241. Host Big Matt, co-hostess with the most, Diamond Dean. We're glad y'all come by to hang out with us. Make sure you subscribe, like the channel, and click the bell, man, so you know when we're coming on every Sunday night at 6. It's just clockwork, man.
I got an Ole Miss hater here.
We're going to be on there. That's okay. Last year, the Sooners lose to Kansas 38-33, Oklahoma State. We just talked about them. Dark horse team. They're running back Gordon the second. 24-26, and they lose in the Alamo Bowl 38-24. Red River rivalry. They beat Texas, though, 34-30. And the closest game of last year with them was a home game versus UCF. They win 31-29.
What did their record?
They lost these.
Ended up being
1, 2, 3. They lost 2 regular season. So
yeah, okay.
Now the Big 12
had a good quarterback.
The Big 12 has not been very impressive this year. And as of the last 3 years, the OU hasn't had a first-team All-American since 2019. Now that they're going to the SEC, the team has improved to bring an upshift to their defense. And this guy right here, 5-star quarterback out of high school, Jackson Arnold, is a very highly talented rising star, says through Athlon Sports. A top wide receiver group plus a rebuilt offensive line may give Oklahoma a shot this year to stay ahead and lead the SEC into the new millennial.
Rebuilt line.
I don't know if everybody knows about Jackson Arnold.
Now, is he a true freshman?
No. He is a former 5-star kid, number one quarterback team as in high school, played at Gayer High. He is a super big time RPO threat, run, pass, throw. This is his second year there.
Okay.
6A Texas state champion. Listen.
Well, let's give him a little credit there now.
See, when he was recruited there 2 years ago, Gabriel was already there.
Right.
I remember doing an Elite 11 spot on him. Listen, you talking about I was bragging about Travis St. Clair, that he's my pick for this year. Last year, I like Nico.
Yeah.
He's good, man.
Jackson Arnold's the real deal.
He is a quarterback.
So we're
talking about
going to make them competitive.
A Texas quarterback, state champion. The high school stands that you see are filled up with, 5,000, 10,000 people. This is his school.
Well, okay.
I mean, it's 6A Texas football.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, that's the biggest thing. They say we can't even fathom.
I watched a highlight video.
I'm just how many people go.
Keelan Russell at Duncanville, Texas.
Who's very good.
You can see in the background, it's like there's an upper level part, and there's just people everywhere.
10,000 people at a high school game. There's no cup ball games going on at these.
I bet there's some awesome ones. Right now, they're going to be 9th in the recruiting. Okay, so he's bringing in some guys to
but they're not there yet.
He's working on it. Do you remember Burks, the receiver?
Yes.
Remember talking about him? He's a 3-star kid. He's 5'10", 195. He's a track guy. He's come out of Michigan. They were compared him. This was in the notes I read. They compared him with Sterling Shepard, which played the Giants.
Yeah.
Giants, cool.
Not bad.
No. Transfer from Purdue, 630 yards, 7 touchdowns. He had 150 yards in 22, 35-yard catch in the spring game. He had a big catch in the OU spring game. He's a 4'4", 4'3", 40 guy, okay? Deion Burks.
Deion Burks.
Is big time.
Okay.
And I know he just says 3-star.
And he's from
up north. He's from the Michigan area. Played high school up there. Just remember that name.
Deion Burks.
You're going to see his name.
Jackson Arnold, Deion Burks.
Saturday, you'll hear Arnold to Burks, Finkel to Einhorn. You're going to hear that a lot. Wide receiver coach Emmett Jones is really looking forward to this season. Wide receiver number 1 on his jersey, junior Jaden Gibson, 6'5", 210 pounds.
That's huge.
Almost 400 yards, 5 touchdowns last year. 200 of those yards came in the last 4 games.
Oh, okay. So he turned it on at the end of the year.
Yep. 4-star out of Florida for Rivals Camp. He was the nation's top 10 out of high school receiver. This is Jaden Gibson.
Jaden Gibson.
Now, number 3, the Farquhar. You remember him? Remember hearing that name last year? He's a senior.
Yeah.
Farquhar, number 3. 6'1", 200 pounds. He had 1,300 yards last year.
Oh, my gosh. What's his first name?
Jalil. Jalal.
Wow. That's okay. Yes. I remember it's a very hard name to pronounce.
Jalal Farquhar.
He had 1,300 yards. So their receiving room's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah. 7 touchdowns, 235 rushing.
Is he on this Heisman watch?
Jalil
Aqua.
Yeah. Jalil Farquhar.
Farquhar. Okay.
Number 5 on his jersey, Andrell Anthony, 6'1", 183 pounds. He's from the Michigan area too, had over 400 yards last year. 2,000-yard receiver in high school.
That's good in high school.
Yes, and he had he had several more in his freshman from the 24 class. Marcus Harris, 2025, out of Maitre D. He's a 4-star kid.
He's good.
Zion Kearney, Jacob Jordan, Zion Reagans, and Ivan Carrion for the 24 class. Now, wide receiver Nick Anderson is somebody that I found on another page that some of the writers were really bragging about him. Number 4. He had 800 yards receiving, 10 touchdowns. Now, he's from Katy, Texas.
He did that in high school, the 800 yards.
No.
He did that at Okie?
Yeah, 4.540.
Oh, my God.
So if I say the word Katy, Texas, what does that mean?
That means he can play.
Yeah, I mean, if you hear
They've been
that.
number 1 in the nation before.
So when you hear Katy, Texas, you know.
I think that's where old Murray's from.
Ain't that where the show Friday Night Lights was shot at? Didn't they play Katy? Or that was their rival?
They might have been their rival. They was Odessa, wasn't they?
Yeah.
Or Midland. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've watched that movie. I haven't watched it in a long time.
I
It was
don't
good.
have to watch it.
It's
I like to
good.
get back into watching the show.
It's a show good. I never watched the show.
You didn't watch the show?
No.
Oh, great, man. It's good TV.
I've heard
TV.
that. I've actually heard that from others. And I'm not just saying this to Brown knows him. If he tells me to watch something, I usually watch it because it's good. I have other friends, they tell me to watch stuff and I don't watch it. But Matt is one.
No, yeah.
If he says to watch it, he told me to watch Mindhunter. He told me to watch Ozark.
Yeah, it was good. Hey, here's another one.
I think I told you to watch Justified.
Here's another one. Then we'll get back to football here.
I'm sorry, what?
Hell or High Water.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Jeff Bridges.
What about The Crazy Brother, man?
That's a good movie. We'll do that.
He finally popped him at the end.
Offensive coach Seth. We're talking about now running backs.
Okay.
Now, this is the name. Sawchuk.
Sawchuk.
Yeah. 745 yards last year, 95 receptions, 5'11", 200-pound kid. The offensive coach Seth says this guy is our mate. He's going to make a lot of plays this year.
Sawchuk. Oh, yeah, you can't forget that name.
Gavin Sawchuk. Also, in the running back room, a Hicks kid, 5A Texas track champ.
He can fly.
Coach Ben Regard. He's the offensive line coach. Now, he's the one, Coach Bedenbaugh. Bedenbaugh.
All right.
He's got a lot of blame. I'm just going to make it kind of quick.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of blame because of some of their failure. They really have to build their line, and this is where their faulties have been at. So all 5 of their guys that started last year, the way I understood it, you fans correct me if I'm wrong, they're not back.
None of them.
They're just totally rebuilt the offensive line.
So they either graduated or they encouraged them to move on.
Yeah.
Wow. Sounds like they were just bad.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not what they were looking for.
Obviously not. So Turquan, right tackle, USC, Hatchett out of Washington, which was a part of the best offensive line in America, played for DeBoer. This guy played in the title game. Hickman, come out of SMU, 6'3", 300-pound guy, probably a center. He's got over 30, 40 starts for his career.
Oh, that's good. That's like a start. I mean, that's a start.
Nawan, 6'4", 325-pound guard, played in North Texas, 30, 40 starts. Spencer Brown, 6'6", 314 pounds out of Michigan State. Started, has almost 30 starts too. So these guys have.
So they got over 100 starts between the line.
30, right? 60, 90, 120. Yeah. I mean, over 100 starts for their line.
But they just haven't started there.
I mean, we're talking about, listen, guys, listen to this Scrabble puzzle. Listen to this. USC, Washington.
North Texas, didn't you say?
North Texas, Michigan State. Now, 2 returners of the line that were like, the way I understood it, maybe I'm just dumb and read it wrong.
The backups.
They come back. Sexton.
Ryan Sexton.
They say he's going to be the team leader.
Okay.
And this Everett Rat, Everetta.
He always gets the hard names.
Everett.
Now, I had one this time.
So,
Everett. That's Everett Ratty?
Yeah.
Everett
He hurt his knee back in March. So he missed a lot of the time last year. So he's going to be back to play. And now, that Walker kid, he went to Wisconsin. So Bama will get to see him pretty quick. He was pretty good.
Yes.
But Sawchuck and Burks, those are names to remember.
Sawchuck, Burks. What was that? Gibson.
Yeah.
Sounds like their receiving room's pretty dang good.
I'm just not.
I mean, but I don't know about their running back. Well, I mean, I know
Sawchuck's good.
And you say Arnold's going to be good, but he's not experienced.
Not really.
I don't know. That's interesting, Matt. I don't know. Okay, what about the
defensively? 11 of the 13 of the Big 12 players are back. Linebacker Darren Statsman and Bowman's going to be at safety. He had 6 interceptions. They have 6 starters back, just up there on the defense. So most of their returning stuff is going to be defensively. Washington cornerback Malone from San Diego State. They got to stay healthy. They don't have a lot of depth. Nose tackle from TCU Dominique Williams, second-year starters played out there, and then both their special team guys are back. So it sounds like defensively, which is where they were kind of bad, sounds like that's maybe where they're going to be a little better.
Mo Venables is good.
Yeah, he is.
Very good. But, you know, I mean, they don't sound like they're going to be bad at all, but contenders, it didn't sound to me like I haven't seen their schedule yet.
Not even looking at their schedule yet. I'm already hearing like 4 losses. Man, I mean, it's just going to be –
yeah, I would think so.
It's going to be tough to bring in a group of linemen.
Yeah, that's never played together. Now, I know they've all started and they got experience, but none of it's together.
You guys, it's different. It's not like receivers go out and run their own routes. What they do don't mesh a whole lot. It does some with each other in the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
But the guards, if one's pulling, the other ain't, and you run up his butt and he don't know you coming, he down blocks when he's supposed to up block. Well,
it's just different.
You mess the whole play up, and guess what happens?
You're done. You're going to get sacked or the running play's not getting anything. I mean, I'm sure this Sawchuck's good. It don't sound like there's a lot of depth. And you said that. You said there wasn't a ton of depth. That's
a problem. Defensively, they don't have a lot of – they have some guys, but they're not real deep. And then the offensive line, it's like they had 2 guys to come back and stay from last year's team, which they didn't even play a lot. One of them was hurt.
Yeah, and you got a bunch of guys that started somewhere else.
USC, Washington, Texas State.
Which will they mesh?
Yeah, man.
And they may not. They've all been in different systems.
Now, I know they've more than likely they've played a lot of football in their life.
Oh, yeah.
Probably. Old coach Barbaltra or what was his name? I have why do I always get the names?
Belladonna, Bellatone,
Bedenball. Who is that? Where are these people
It's like
from?
whoever writes for us says, all right, give the hard names to Matt.
I don't know.
I get Smith, Johnson.
I don't know any Bedenball. I've never even heard that. I've never even seen those.
I have heard of a bowling ball.
I've never even seen those letters in congruent line with each other.
Bedenball.
What is that?
Ohio State beat Rutgers.
Crap. Lost $2 on that. So start out of the gate here, guys. YouTube and Twitter watchers, you can look up here on the screen. August the 30th on a Friday, 6 o'clock ESPN for your home dials there. They're going to play Temple. I would assume that would be a win.
I think so.
September the 7th, 6:45 SEC Network. Oklahoma Sooners will play Houston. Now, Houston.
They could lose that. I don't think they will, but they could.
Houston has some guys that have. Who's the guy that transferred up to Houston? I just went through that last week.
I can't remember who
you know what I'm talking about?
But they've got good players.
Somebody went up to Houston. September 14th, they got Tulane.
That's a good team.
And then the 21st, you can see on your screen here, they're at home. First 4 games at home. 3:30 or 8 o'clock Eastern time swing game. The 21st, they play Tennessee.
Where at?
These are all home.
Oh, all home. Okay.
First 4 games are at home.
Okay.
Temple, Houston, Tulane, Tennessee. And then they travel. Oklahoma will travel to Auburn. It's going to be an early game at Auburn.
That
So
won't be easy.
It's going to be hot. We're talking about the end of September. So it's going to be hot.
Yeah, still very hot.
Not that it's not hot in
Now that may be
Oklahoma.
the last. That may be the last of the hotness, but it'll still be hot.
Okay, then they're off. They're idle October the 5th.
That's another loss.
Gosh, darn it. Put that in the L. Loss. I don't know. I don't know if they play. I don't know if they can go to Auburn and win, man.
I mean, they could easily lose that game. I've got them, and I don't know who, but I've got them with at least 2 already.
All right, now October 12th, they're going to go and play the Cotton Bowl, which is a Red River game. They'll play Texas.
But that game could go either way.
And then they have South Carolina at home.
Okay.
I think they get South Carolina. Then they go to Ole Miss. It's a loss. They play. This is the new one to me. Guys, look at this name.
Pretty tough schedule.
What is this? Somebody help me here. Look on the screen right there. Dean, who's that say?
I can't see it.
Maine Black Bears.
Oh, Maine.
Maine? What are you talking about? Maine?
Maine. That's probably homecoming. I didn't know Maine had a college football team. I mean, I really didn't. I thought they were D2 or D1 AA.
And their homecoming is, hope it's them. They don't say what.
Surely that's it.
I hope so. Because November the 9th, they will be at Missouri.
Wow. That's 4. I've got them at 4 already. 4 losses.
And November 23rd, they will be home for Alabama. And then they go to Baton Rouge. You're not going to the SEC championship game, Oklahoma, your first year. Sorry, Oklahoma fans. I don't
see it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
I got
6,
6.
7. Oh my gosh, I put them with. What did I just do?
I've got them at 6.5. Maybe 7 and 5, 6 and 6. I think they'll be bowl eligible. Man, I don't see no better than that.
Let me go back through it and try.
I'm telling you. Well, here's the thing.
Let me try to go through it.
They could lose to Houston or Tulane.
Oh God, they can't do that.
No, they cannot.
No. I don't even.
But they could.
Oh.
I mean, LSU, they're going to have to pull some upsets. They're going to have to upset Missouri, or I can't give them no more than 7. Ain't no way.
They could be a night game too at Baton Rouge. Man, LSU's got a pretty nice little say. Every time I say LSU, you notice I say at LSU.
Every game's at home.
Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
What the heck's going on?
LSU, we don't play any on the road this year. I'm pretty happy with it.
I'm trying to find them a win, Dean, where I give them an L. Could they beat
Missouri? They can beat Auburn.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not knocking Auburn, but they can. I don't think they'll beat Alabama.
The reason I like
I don't think they'll beat Texas and Ole Miss. Go ahead.
No. The reason I like them not winning at Auburn is because Auburn.
I wouldn't be a bit shocked if Auburn beat them.
They ain't been to Auburn and ever played them since. I looked it up. It's like way back. It ain't even no time in the modern era. You've never played at Auburn. I'm telling you. Yes,
it's different.
They are not an upper echelon team of the SEC.
No.
They're not. Alabama, Georgia, LSU has carried this conference for years and years and years. Florida did at one time. Right. Auburn had a good year. But when you show up down there to play,
you better be ready.
And this year they are hungry. Mm-hmm. And if you don't think, Oklahoma fans, that Auburn is not going to be very highly motivated to welcome you to play at Auburn, you got another thing coming. I'm just telling you, that's a tough. It's hard to play there. Now it's not.
It's very tough.
It's not at night.
It's very tough. Yeah,
it's like the LSU games at night. That's a different place to play at night. You talking about somewhere to show up?
Yeah, you don't want to do that
at night.
It's tough. You better have a good squad.
You better be ready. That place is going to be. They ain't nothing like Death Valley, and it ain't Clemson. Death Valley is LSU.
I used to think it was Clemson.
No, well, they claim it too, but I'm telling you, it's not. It's just not the same. It's not the same.
No, it's not as brutal.
Clemson has been more relevant of a team lately than LSU.
They have. Yeah, you'd have to say they have.
Winning wise.
Yeah, when they win 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 and played for
So like them and Bama was playing every
2
year.
more, played for 2 others. Yeah. Well, they played Ohio State or LSU that year.
Oh, let's just play nice here. Let's just. I don't think they.
I'm gonna give them. I'll give them the Missouri game. I don't have Missouri doing as well as they did last year.
That's they've. It's out there in that area. It's not
I've
like
had to stretch to get them to 6 or 7.
It's not like they're unacquainted with Missouri.
No, and they used to be in the Big 8,
yeah,
Big 12 together.
Yeah.
So
all right,
they're familiar.
Nice. I'm gonna be nice there.
I'm serious, man. I think they could lose that Houston or Tulane.
I'll do.
I don't think they will, but they could.
I'll be nice, and I've had to go back and change.
Who's their first game? Very first.
Yeah, Temple. Friday night.
Okay, I think they'll be okay on that.
Temple, Houston, Tulane.
The thing that'll help them with Houston and Tulane is that it's at home. I don't think they're going to beat Tennessee.
I don't either.
I mean, if they do, it'll just be because it's a home game.
They lose to. I'm trying to went back and be nice. I'm gonna say they go to Auburn and win on a crazy field goal, and Auburn, loses because we got them winning like 7 games.
Okay, yeah.
This will be one of the games that gets away from them. Something crazy happens.
We have Auburn winning 7.
Yeah, 7.5.
Yeah.
And we'll say something happens wild Auburn. That's why I changed that one. So we got 1 loss, 2 losses. Now I'm going to say they're not beating Ole Miss. We just heard the case on that.
No, I wouldn't think so.
At Missouri, I'm going to say they know who they are. Missouri ain't got quite the running game they had. We went through their offensive line is going to be okay, but they have some studs back on defense, but it's going to be a little different. But Burden's still, Luther's still going to be catching the ball.
Right. Who's fantastic, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
We still got to do them, don't we?
Yeah. No, we done Missouri.
We did do Missouri?
Mm-hmm.
What'd you have Missouri with?
Well,
I didn't think we'd done Missouri. I thought we had Alabama, Georgia.
We did them the second week.
Oh, okay.
We did them second.
Did we?
Next week will be LSU and Texas.
What did you have Missouri with?
7.5.
Okay. Yes. We had them going. Okay. I got you.
Arkansas, Kentucky, Mississippi State.
Yeah, it's right. All we got left is Texas, Alabama, LSU, Georgia, and Vandy.
Yeah, I ain't doing Vandy.
Did you say
if you want to do Vandy?
Well, what we'll do is one of those weeks we'll throw them in there.
Put somebody else. All right, their starting quarterback is so-and-so. All right, that's Vanderbilt.
Watch them have everybody back.
That don't matter. They don't have the players.
No. And yet you're not knocking them. They can't help it.
I know. They can't. Now they're good at baseball.
Fantastic.
Losses 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I got them at 6.5, man. I got them maybe losing 6, no more than 7. I don't think they go 8-4 with that schedule.
6.5.
I got them at 6.5. Now you may have them at 7.
I just don't think so. I'm just because, and I know I sent a guy on a video yesterday talking about Oklahoma. They're going to win it. They're easy 8.5.
That means they're going 8-4 or 9-3. I don't think so.
Where are you? Pull that out of this schedule.
Yeah, with what you got coming back,
win 8. Well, okay, you can win 8.
Okay, you're gonna have to upset 2 people.
1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6. So you got 6. You're just barely going to make a bowl game. And then their last 2 games is Alabama and LSU.
I don't think they win both of them. They lose one of them, I'm sure. They're going to lose to Ole Miss and Tennessee, I would think. And then you got all that other crap in there. You got to go to Auburn. You got Missouri.
They got hard. Their schedule's not really easy. Texas has got cake. You know what? You see their schedule.
They're going to win 10 games.
Yeah.
They got the best schedule in the conference.
Yes.
Really?
Bama's was like 7 or 8 hard.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't ridiculous.
And Auburn's was like 7 or 8.
Florida's is the worst.
And the reason
right?
Auburn's schedule's harder, somebody tried to argue me this. Well, our schedule's harder. Yeah, because you play Alabama.
Yeah.
Alabama's is one below because we play Auburn. They're not even going to be preseason ranked.
Yeah. And Alabama's going to be in the top 7.
Yeah, at least.
At least.
Something like that. Them in Missouri, Ole Miss. So I'm trying to find I can't find no wins, man.
I can't find no more than 7.
Just look at the last 3 weeks here.
And Missouri's supposed to be good. Missouri's not a bunch of chumps.
Look at that. What are you going to do with that? And then look at the middle part of their schedule.
Well, you got South Carolina. You got Ole Miss. South Carolina's supposed to be decent. Texas, Auburn. And I think they'll be okay against Maine. And I'm telling you guys that Houston and Tulane are catch games.
This is after they come in and go, I guess, 3-0. Then they got Tennessee, Auburn, Texas.
These schedules are awful.
And then look who they got sitting right square, like old fat daddy right here in the middle. At a noon game.
At Oxford.
At Oxford.
What in the world? Look at that score.
Yeah, this was a good game last year.
Did they come back and win, don't they? 38-35.
Yeah.
Well, and we do realize that there'll be an
it?
upset, but even with an upset, they're still 7-5.
Oh man.
Or 2 upsets, they're only 8-4. They're not going better than 8-4 unless they just
Look, you got a tough spot here. South Carolina, and it's at home, so it's not.
South Carolina's not terrible.
But Ole Miss sitting in the middle. All right, buddy. Oklahoma, thank y'all for coming into the SEC. You get to finish off your season with Missouri, Alabama, LSU. What? All of those teams were like top 10 last year.
I think they'll go to a bowl. But, Now, I don't think that Oklahoma's going to – I'll be shocked if they
So you're saying
push for the title.
So you're saying Arkansas don't buy tickets to the SEC title game like Ole Miss should?
Arkansas or Oklahoma, no.
Oklahoma don't buy tickets to the SEC title game. Ole Miss, you can. Go ahead and get your tickets.
They can. Now they might have to sell them and scalp them. But no, Oklahoma. No, I'll be shocked. It'll be a story like Missouri. But the only thing, Venables is a very good coach.
Yeah. So,
but I mean, it don't matter who your coach is.
Here's a question then. Last year, see what they went.
But they didn't have that tough of a schedule. And they lost a lot. They lost Gabriel. They do have those receivers back, though.
Let's just look at this schedule. Now, this year, they got after the games, what was it, games 5, 6, 7?
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So last year, this was their meet right here in the middle. Right in the middle of the season was their meet. They had Iowa State, Texas, and UCF. And they did win all of them.
Upset Texas.
Yep.
On last play, right?
Yeah.
Remember that?
So I'm okay with that. But then they get into here to the back half of their season.
But they don't have Gabriel anymore. Y'all got to remember that.
It ain't going to matter. That boy's good.
Oh,
I'm not a Gabriel fan at all. I never thought he was good.
Yeah.
I don't see it. I just,
you just don't see the greatness.
Not at all.
Does.
What is he
he's going to be as good as Bo Nix?
No. Then they lost to Kansas. Gabriel did. And then Gabriel goes and loses to Oklahoma State Cowboys.
Who was going to be pretty good this year, but I didn't think they were fantastic.
But now this year, they're getting back on their last 3 games was Missouri, Alabama, LSU.
Mm-hmm.
Well, who'd they have last year? TCU, BYU, West Virginia.
TCU wasn't great last year.
No. They beat them 69-45.
Oh, okay.
So their last half of last year ain't nothing like Missouri, Alabama, LSU this year.
And they lost Arizona.
Yeah.
How bad?
38-24.
Okay. Yeah. I think we're right to say 6 or 7.
Well, Oklahoma, all I can say is this.
I think they're going to have a harder first year than
Guys,
Texas.
You just don't know what you fix.
Yeah, I mean it's brutal. It's pretty brutal. It's brutal on all these teams.
Different schedule.
Yeah, and I don't know. This conference may end up beating up on each other and there'll be a bunch of upsets and everybody be 8-4. But
Different.
he just threw a touchdown to Trey Harris. There he goes. There's Harris.
Total different schedule.
Look right there, man.
Booyah.
That's against A&M last year. Who is this guy?
Oklahoma. Jeff's got Oklahoma winning. It'll be 7-4.
7-5. Yeah,
7-5.
I can see he's about like us.
Cody 7-5.
I could see him.
He thinks they don't even go bowling.
I could see that.
They just be lucky to make a bowl game.
If they lose one of them catch games to Houston or Tulane, they will not go bowling.
Guys, that's the breakdown for Oklahoma and Ole Miss, and we got Ole Miss at 9.5, and we got Oklahoma at 6.5. We're thinking
I got 10.5 on Oklahoma. I might have overdid it on that.
Ole Miss.
Yeah. And I got to say, and I'm not bragging on us, but we've done a good job breaking these teams down, I think.
Well, if we give you a case, we're just being lawyers, and here's some evidence. Here's the players. I like telling where they played high school because I like that part of it.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Hey, this guy was a 6A state champ. You think, if you don't know that, I think when you do know that, like.
And no disrespect to the state of New Hampshire, but if you hear a player's great and he came from Atlanta, or you hear he came from New Hampshire, who are you going to be more scared of?
Yeah, if he played at Maine Black Bears, you're probably going to be like, Or if you hear the name Jackson Arnold, 6A Texas state champ around Katy, Texas, you go.
Yeah, he may
probably play football.
Now watch the guy from New Hampshire come down and just dominate everybody. But
blow Oklahoma out of the water. 54-6.
That's where Dan Mullen was from.
That sounds about right.
He was from New Hampshire.
He's a strange guy.
Grew up in New Hampshire. I don't know much about New Hampshire, but I do know that there's probably not a ton of football talent in none of the New England states. Maybe New Jersey.
Pretty area. Yeah.
Well, New Jersey, I don't even know if it's considered.
Yes, there is some.
But is it considered New England?
I don't know.
I don't think it is.
Dennis Rodman's from up there.
Yeah. Massachusetts is considered New England. I'll have to look and see what New England is. I know it's Connecticut, Rhode Island.
From Boston.
It's not Delaware, though. I did find that out. Maine.
What else we got, Dane?
That's it, bro. Vermont. Sorry.
We're going to start the Revolutionary War. But before you do that, hit the like button here on the video. Give us a thumbs up and show us a little bit of love. We do really highly appreciate it. We're getting close to 500. Share, talk to a friend. Tell them about Locker Room Sports Talk live every week. Next week, we'll be back. Show number 242, and we'll be bringing you LSU and Texas.
Down to the Final Four, huh?
LSU and Texas.
So that's one of them you don't mind doing either one of them. I mean, I don't care. I'm not going to be like, if you say, hey, man, you take LSU, I ain't going to be like, dang it. I wanted Texas.
Well, I'll tell you right now, Texas schedules.
Easy. The easiest in the conference, possibly?
I think so. Good chance to win SEC.
Quinn Ewers. It's going to be hard to rank these quarterbacks, man. Who's the best quarterback in the conference? Who knows?
Cody. Jeff said it is. New England is Connecticut, Rhode Island, Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, and ME. Maryland.
Massachusetts. No, it's Maryland.
Maine and Maryland.
Well, there's not a lot of football talent up there.
There's a school up there.
There is. We got basketball up there.
Remember the Quanjo brothers?
Mm-hmm. Cyrus. Great, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Did they ever play pro ball?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They went on. They made a living.
Yeah.
It's you kind of get to pro ball. You kind of get shuffled in the mix. You can be great,
but for a short time.
But it's a bigger pond than college.
Yeah.
Even if it's Alabama pond, it's still big pond. All right, guys, y'all come back next week and hang out with us. Show number 242. We do appreciate it. Thank you very much, and God bless you, and keep your heads clear and your hearts full of God, and come back and do Texas and LSU.
Texas, LSU. Right by each other, neighbors.
Maybe battling for the SEC.
I don't think so.
All right, see y'all next week.
I ain't so.